Yun, okay. Okay, Module 6, Azure Pricing and Lifecycle. So in this module, we will learn the methods for managing the cost. No? Tumataas na yung cost ninyo. Some of my students was surprised when they log in sa Azure nila. It went to $2,000. No? So he asked me, Sir, paano naging $2,000? Kasi iniwan mo lahat ng VM, database, storage na naka-on. Hindi mo pinatay. Okay? So ingat kayo ha. Careful. So dito, we're going to discuss methods for managing costs such as factors affecting cost, bakit tumaas yung bill ninyo, option to reduce, paano paliitin ang bill, and how do you manage yung costs such as service, such as alerting, no? Magsisend ba ng text message or email sa inyo na magkano yung cost ninyo. And we're going to discuss service level agreement and life cycle. So dito, di-discuss natin, ano ba yung SLA na bibigay sa inyo ng Azure? Is it 99%, 99.9, or whatever? And factors impacting the agreement, no? And the life cycle. Okay, so planning and cost management muna tayo. So when you say planning and cost management, we will identify factors that can affect cost. No? Anong resource yung tumaas ang cost? Anong services yung naiwan nyo? And saan ba yun? Anong location? Baka naman sa prime location kayo nag-subscribe kaya mahal siya. No? And yung in and out traffic ninyo, may additional cost yan. Okay? So if you subscribe for virtual machine, you're not only paying you're not paying bill for virtual machine, but you also pay yung in and out na traffic, no? So don't be surprised na kung bakit ang laki ng bill ninyo. Okay. So identify factors and how do we reduce, no? Ano yung mga reserve instance? Mas mura ba yung reserve instance kaysa sa on-demand instance, no? And we're going to describe the functionality of the total cost of ownership. So yung nag-ask kanina, Sir, magkano abutin ang cost natin? So di-discuss natin yan. So and we're going to discuss the functionality and usage, okay, of cost management. Ito na, makinig na kayo. So factors affecting cost. One is resource type. Second, ano ba yung service na in-avail ninyo? And third, saan kayo nag-avail ng service? So actually, there are 6 primary factors affecting cost. The first one is the resource type. So costs are resource specific. So the usage that the meter tracks and the number of meters associated with the resource depend on the resource type. So kung ano yung resource na kinuha ninyo? Virtual machine, firewall, WAF, or VNet, network security gateway, firewall, and so on. No? So ano ba yung mga resources na yan? Second is yung mga services. Azure usage rates and billing periods can differ between enterprise, you subscribe to enterprise, you subscribe to web direct, or customer service. No? Next one is the location. The Azure infra is globally distributed. Okay, and usage cost might vary between location that offer Azure product, service, and resource. So may mga murang resources such as India, pinakamura, no? Pinakamahal US East 2 kasi sa New York, no? East 2 sa Eastern Seaboard sa right side, no? Could be hosted in Boston or New York, no? Kaya expensive. So we have pricing calculator. The pricing calculator is a tool which help you estimate the cost of Azure products. The options that you can configure in pricing calculator vary between products, but basic config already included like region, saan kayo nag-purchase, no? Saan kayo nag-purchase? Operating system. Anong operating system? Kung Windows, expensive yan. Linux is much cheaper. Or if you selected OS only, okay? And what tier? Standard ba or special? So dito, sinelect ni standard. So dito naman, instance type niya is D2 V3. Okay? So ano yung D2? Intensive siya sa storage, di ba? So sa D2 V3, there's 2 CPU, 8 GB RAM, 40 GB temporary storage, and cost 0.209 per hour. Okay? 0.209 per hour. So walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to use the pricing calculator. So sa demo ko, you're going to use the pricing calculator to generate a cost estimate for an Azure VM and related other resources, no? Not only network. So dito, I'm going to configure the pricing calculator and then I'm going to review the pricing estimate. Okay? So Ang pricing calculator is right here. So web. Saan ba yung web ko? Bakit naging zoom to? Saan na yan? Dami kasing Windows. Ito ba yan? Ito ba yan? Yeah, ito yan. So, so where's my portal? Nawala yung portal ko. So, login sa portal. .azure.com. Okay, so you just have to type calculator. Pricing calculator. Wala dito na. Calculate total cost of ownership. TCO calculator. Azure pricing calculator. Yan. Pricing calculator, okay? So if you cannot find it, kasi napakadami, no? Just Google around. Pricing calculator. So dito, you can calculate estimated hourly and monthly costs for Azure. And you can be specific to what products you want to calculate. So let's say, for example, virtual machine lang. Virtual machine lang. Click on virtual machine. Kita ba nyo? Kita, lakihan nga natin. Okay, virtual machine added. Okay, sa baba yan. Scroll down. Okay, so where do you want to deploy the virtual machine? Let's say, nasan ba kayo? Philippines, di ba? So hanapin nyo, ano bang nearest sa Philippines? East Asia, Hong Kong yan. Southeast Asia, Singapore. So what operating system you want to install? Windows operating system. And type, you only want to install OS lang muna. No? Kasi web server lang gagawin. Hindi mo kailangan bstock or SQL. So what tier? Just the standard tier, category, all instance. So what instance you want? I want 2 CPU. Sabihin natin pinakamura, B2S. Yung ginawa natin kanina, B2S. Okay? So pag B2S, B2 standard S, okay? 2 virtual core, 4 gig RAM. Enough na yan for web server. Okay, enough na yan. So 120 SSD yan automatically. So one virtual machine times monthly 730 hours, okay? So if you're gonna calculate 24 hours a day times 30 days, 730 hours pa yan. Tama ba? Calculate natin. Sige, calculate natin. So 24 hours a day times 30 days, 720, no? Siguro kinalculate niyo sa 31 days to times 24 hours. Hindi, 30 something, you know? So 30 days yan. So sabihin natin monthly. Kung gusto yung monthly, 1 month. 1 month. Ganyan na lang. No? Okay, so saving options, save up to 72% on pay as you go. If you lock into a contract for minimum of 1 year or 3 years. So, paano ka makakamura? Reserve instance. Mag-locking ka sa 1 year. Okay? So, as of now, magkano bill natin ng VM? So, monthly cost ng VM, $48. Tama? $48. Hindi pa sinamin bandwidth eh. Dito, 5 gigabyte lang. Let's say, for example, per month, imposibleng 5 gigabyte lang yan eh. No? You only know 5 gigabyte yan eh. 1 terabyte. So 1,000 gigabyte. Okay? So kita nyo additional fee. Additional fee ng VM ninyo. $128 per month. Okay? So do you need support? No? Siguro kung demo lang, you don't need support. No? You need the additional customer agreement. No? So kung hindi naman, zero na lang. So 128. Okay? And then export this one. Okay? So I think estimate. So you have something to show to the management. Pag tinanong, magkano ba isang VM? Oo, di ba? Very professional. Very professional ang estimate niyo. Automatic, meron ng template. Di ba? Di ba? So magkano cost? $128. Upfront, zero. Kasi nga ang cloud, no CapEx. Walang ilalabas na pera. Operational expense off. $128 monthly. Okay? Malinaw. So ayan, na-present ko na agad. So this, email nyo sa customer ninyo and you can have a proof of concept na this is the cost for single VM with 1 terabyte ingress and egress. Okay? Including yung license na Windows operating system. Ay. Meron na, no? And if someone asks you and you're doing presentation, how can we save money? Paano ba kami makakatipid? Well, if you can lock in into a 3-year contract, you can have 63% discount. Okay? So instead of 28, naging $15 na lang. Okay? So monthly cost including 1 terabyte transfer, $101 instead of $128. Okay? So export mo ulit, 3-year lock-in contract. So ito yun. O di ba? Wala ka nang iniisip. In-export mo na, bigay mo na agad sa customer mo. Sir, ito pa yung magiging cost natin. $101 na lang. If you are locking in 3-year contract. Okay, tapos, di ba? Ang bilis. Wala ka nang ginawang. Okay, let's take a real scenario. Let's say, hindi lang naman isa VM gagawin namin eh. Okay, gawa tayo ng bago. Gawa tayo ng bago. So, example scenarios. Okay, so example scenario, complete infrastructure with everything on it. Okay, so virtual machine hosted in Hong Kong, standard 4 gig RAM, pero gusto niyo mas mabilis, 8 gig RAM. Okay, 120 gig storage, 10 virtual machine. Okay, 10 virtual machines. And then you want pay as you go kasi ayaw niyo magbayad instantly. You just want a proof of concept kung magkano ba talaga to. Ano? So 10 VM in 1 month will cost you $912. Laki, no? $912. Subscribe kayo ng 3 years. Oh, ang laki ng difference from $900 to $372. Okay? Hindi lang yon. So out from OS, kasi ang standard nun 120 gigabyte lang eh. Na? Gusto yung extend into 250 gigabyte. Okay? So additional 384. Okay, may 100. Tapos transfer 1 terabyte. You want to include support. Standard support lang. Tapos meron pa kayong, huwag na kayo mag-dev test. Wala nang dev test. Okay. So the total will be, export natin, 10 virtual machines. Okay, but 800 data. May support. Support kasi $100 a month. Okay. So total of 936 a month. 10 VM. So you're gonna have 10 B2MS. Ibig sabihin 10 server with 2 CPU and 8 gig RAM. Okay? So ganun lang kadali. No? Ano pa? Lagyan mo ng SQL. Dagdagan natin ng SQL database kasi nag-SQL kayo eh. Dagdagan natin ng web access, web server. Yung ginawa natin kanina, ano ba yun? App server, app service. Hindi, sige, burahin natin lahat. Ha? Walang server this time. Walang server. Okay? Web function lang. Ay, tingnan natin. Ha? Saan tayo makakamura? So tawag doon, sorry, hindi function, app service pala. App service, you can quickly create powerful application on the web. Up and running. Okay? Up and running kagad. Ha? So app service gagawin natin. Okay? Tingnan natin. So web service will be in Hong Kong as well. Mas mura. Linux mas mura. Okay, sa mga gusto. Bala ka. Gusto mo CentOS, very common. The rest are the same. With Linux, ba't ako may virtual machine? Sandali. Ayoko ng virtual machine nga eh. Sandali, tatanggalin natin yung virtual machine na yan. So this is the link. Ayan, nakita ko na yung link. Okay, link yan. ENAU pricing calculator. I'll send it to Skype yan. So, tingnan ko kung walang virtual machine. Ay, ba't nandun? Hindi nabura. Bakit hindi nabura? Ang kulit. Gagawa ko ng isa pang browser. Ano pa ba browse? Wala na akong browser kundi Chrome lang. May price na kasi. Sige, tanggalin natin tong delete natin to.
Sir,
Okay,
try niyo sa
dinelete ko.
incognito, sir.
Dinelete ko na lang. Ayan. Okay, zero. Back to zero. Walang laman. Bagal na internet ko, no? Naka 4K kasi. Video eh. Anyway, okay, binura ko na lahat. Walang virtual machine. Application directly. Okay, yan. Sinelect ko app service. Magkano kaya to? So app service hosted nearest the Philippines is in Hong Kong, East Asia. Kung walang budget yung company, mag-Linux na lang. Okay, walang budget eh. Sa Linux, one core lang is enough. Okay, so monthly yan. Sabihin natin month. Sige, month. Hindi, proof of concept lang ng apps nyo kung tumatakbo talaga. Eh di one day, di ba? One day lang. Hindi, kung may demo, sabihin natin 5 days, sige, meron ka pang testing. So isang web service lang kailangan mo. Wala na, di ba? Okay, so SSL, do you need to connect this one via secure? Hindi, demo nga lang eh. Demo nga lang eh. Oh, yun na, $2.40. Mura. yung web app mo, running na, up and running. Yung dinemonstrate ko kanina. Di ba? So in 5 days, babayaran mo lang $2.40. Oo. Di ba? Saan ka ba? Tapos sabihin mo, Chris, can you provide me a professional looking quote? Oh, yan yung quote mo. $2 lang babayaran niya, sir. Okay? Web app lang siya eh. Okay? Hosted in Linux. Tapos, okay? Mura, di ba? So, na-feel nyo na yung difference ng virtual machine sa web app. Okay? And napakadami pa, hindi lang yan. Meron ka pa Kubernetes, yung orchestration. Kung gusto ng database, let's say database lang gusto niyo, kailangan niyo na. Kasi you need to store yung mga data. No? So, pili tayo ng Azure SQL database. Yan. So, dito, hosted in Hong Kong, single database lang. Ngayon, ano to? Local, zone, geo-redundance. Local lang. Local lang. How many core? Hindi, how many core? 8 core. Tindi, no? 8 core kaagad. Gen 5, local, 1 month. Okay, so pay as you go is just a proof of concept, 1.4. Okay, but mahal. Mahal kasi yung SQL. So, there's a suggestion na get si MariaDB ba or hindi ko alam anong murang database eh. So, let's check Cosmos DB. So, Cosmos DB. Oh, yun, mas mura. Cosmos nga, tama. Ako, galing inulangan ko lang. So, Cosmos DB can be accessed within the whole month sa East US for only $23. Oh, di ba? Ang galing, ano? May backup ka pa. Pero, hindi. Kung gusto mong continuous, free na. Free na yung continuous backup. $23 lang per month. Oh, di ba? Compare sa ginawa kong kanina. If you want to avail availability zone, click this one. Multiply by 3 yan. Huh? So, enable AZ. Ngayon, saang AZ? From US, Asia, tapos isa pa, gusto ko naman sa Australia. So, tatlong kopya. In case the East US region failed, let's say may power outage, yung apps mo still available sa Australia and Hong Kong. Okay? Though, times 3 nga lang yung cost mo. Times 3. Okay? So, if you avail availability zone, which has 3 replica, okay? Meaning 3 different countries, times 3. 79. So, paano ka makakamura? As usual, subscribe for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. So, instead of ano ba yung monthly ba yung pinili ko? Monthly, naging 219. Naging 219. Paano ko ginawa yan? 219 monthly. That doesn't make sense. Paano naging ganun? Dapat 79 something or less eh. Sandali ah. Ayan, ito kasi 79, di ba? 79 monthly. Pag ginawa mong 3-year reserve, 219. Siguro yung backup, no? So, may mga weird na ganyan eh. Okay, then export into Excel spreadsheet. Then boom, you have a cost-benefit analysis straight away. No? Okay, any questions? So yan, walkthrough ko sa pricing calculator. Okay? Next, meron tayong tinatawag na total cost of ownership. It's a tool to estimate cost savings. Ito, paano ka makakamura? No, so ito yung comparison between on-prem and cloud. No? So kung solution architect kayo, so you need to do a presentation. So pe-present niyo the difference between the two. So magkano yung cost of running this application on-prem sa data center nyo, and magkano yung cost running this application sa web, sorry, sa cloud. Okay, sa cloud to na yan. So TCO is a report which compare the cost of on-prem, no, to Azure cloud. Okay? So dito, if you can see, total on-prem cost is $30,000. Okay, ito yung lalabas mong pera para maka-build ka ng IT infra, no? Sa Azure naman, kalahating milyon. Para naging mahal, di ba? Hindi, mali pala read ko. $30 million pala to. $30 million to set up a complete IT infra. Kasi ang dami bibilin. Server. Magkano yung Dell ProLiant? So, Dell Power Edge pala. Dell Power Edge XC640. Yung hyperconverged server. $300,000 na eh. 32 gig RAM lang yan. Tapos bibili ka ng rack. Tapos bibili ka ng Nexus 9000. Switch pa lang yan. Yung sa top of the rack. Bibili ka pa ng router. No? Cisco router. Bibili ka pa ng firewall. Bibili ka pa ng license. No? Tapos, syempre may kuryente yun. Pag walang kuryente, paano tatakbo? So ito yung total cost, $30 million. No? If you implement an IT infra sa Azure, $500,000 lang. Okay? Okay, paano nangyari yun? Paano nangyari? So ito na, in my walkthrough, I'm gonna show you how to use the TCO calculator. So TCO, I'm gonna configure the TCO, and I'm gonna review the result and save a copy. Okay, so ito na. TCO cost calculator is right here. So ito yun. So, haba naman ang process nito. Gusto ko lang yung link. Google na lang, mas simple pa. Total cost of ownership calculator. Okay. So ito yan, TCO. So totally different from pricing calculator. Pricing is more individual. Total cost is more on the whole IT infrastructure. So ito na. So TCO will estimate cost savings, which you can realize by migrating from on-prem to Azure. Okay. So first step one, we need to define the workloads. Ano yung kailangan mo? And then we're gonna adjust, and then let's check the PDF. Okay. So servers. So ano kailangan natin? We need 10 servers. Okay. Anong operating system? Sige. Walang server. Web app kagad. Sige. May server. Physical, virtual machine lang. Virtual machine. Servers, define your workload. Teka, enter this. On-prem, sorry. On-prem pala to. On-prem. Yung current. Let's say, before migration, ano bang meron kayo sa data center nyo? So, sabihin natin, physical, syempre. So, meron kayo 10 physical na Windows operating system, data center. No? So, ilang server? 10. Okay? Processor, yung physical server, meron kayong 2 processor. And then, how many cores per processor? Usually 8, di ba? 8 na eh. And then, yung RAM ninyo is nasa 256 GB RAM. And then, CPU, may GPU? Walang GPU. Operating system is to data center. Anong gusto niyo? So, hindi sinabi. Okay. Then, ang laman ng 10 server, yun lang. Workload 1 lang. Okay, 10 server. Walang database. Sabihin natin, you need a storage. Meron kayong hard drive na umaabot ng 10 terabyte lang, sabihin natin. Tapos, syempre, kung may backup kayong 10 tera, factory nyo, 2 tera lang yung backup niyan. Kasi compressed. No? And then of course, sa on-prem ninyo, sa data center, may switch. Di ba? Gaano kabilis, sorry, ingress and egress pala. Sabihin na natin 2 terabyte lang, 2 terabyte na. Ingress and egress. So ayan. So ito yung on-prem. So meron kang na-calculate nila price per kilowatt per hour is 0.1313 na storage cost. Tapos meron kayong mga server engineer, di ba? Server engineer yun eh. Number of physical servers that can be managed by a full-time admin is 100. Hourly rate ng IT admin, pinakamababa, 23 lang, kung ari lang. Another assumption, yung data center cost, yung processor, no, paano yun? Yung other assumption ninyo. And then naka-rack pa yan, naka-warehouse. So next, so ito yung cost ng on-prem. O di ba, mahal? Over 5 years, pag gumawa kayo ng sariling data center, na 10 lang yung servers, 2 terabyte bandwidth with 2 terabyte, ilang terabyte ba yung data? 2 terabyte lang yata. You're gonna be spending 422,000. Okay? One-off payment. One-off payment. Ito yung lalabas yung pera. Okay? One-off payment. So blue over green. Okay? Blue is on-prem. Green is cloud. So total of premise on-prem, 5 years, $500,000. Pero if you decided to migrate yung 10 physical server into cloud, it will cost you $174 for the next 5 years. Saan ang mura? Sino mura? Anybody? Saan ka pa? Saan ka pa? Cloud ka na.
Cloud na.
Another issue dito sa total on-prem. We recently decommissioned limang HP C7000 Blade Center and 3 Cisco UCS. Alam ba kung gaano kabigat ang Cisco UCS? Paano namin itatapon yun? No? Paano namin itatapon? You need to hire a logistic problem yan. Kami, it cost $10,000 para ma-dispose lang yun. Kasi super bigat yun eh. Nakakita na ba kayo yung Cisco UCS? Super bigat to, hindi kaya ng isang tao. You need a forklift data center, Cisco UCS. Yung server na 8 blades, yan no? Ang bigat niyan. 8 yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yan ang blades namin, no? So ito yan. Ito yan. Ano lang yan? Compute lang yan. Wala pang networking components. You need to purchase mga Cisco fabric switches pa. Wala pang storage yan. Bibili ka pa ng NetApp. So bibili ka pa ng storage ng NetApp. NetApp storage array server. Yan. Ito yung pinakamura, NetApp. No? So doon may store yung mga data mo. Sa million yan. Million. Sa mga big company lang nakaka-afford. Try to imagine ilang consumption of electricity yan. Diba? Ang laking electricity niyan. Kasi itong Cisco UCS na to, isang power supply is 2,000 watts. And they have 6 power supply. So 2,000 watts times 6. 2,000 watts times 6. Magkano yan? 12,000? Tama ba?
Yes.
So that's the Cisco UCS. Ito yung physical host, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So wala siya. Naka-cluster siya. Normally, you install VMware ESX. Okay? ESX yan. Hindi ka maglalagay ng Windows dyan. So ESX, sa loob doon, virtual machines. No? Siya nga pala, if you wanna learn VMware, ESX, and vSphere, meron kaming promo. No, usually it's 12,000 pesos. Naging 2,900 na lang. Pero 1 day lang yan. Pero you can still perform the hands-on lab. Bibigyan kayo ng 20 gigabyte na RAM. Tapos 4 na CPU. And then 100 gig storage. Na? So ang architecture nito, ganito. So ito yung fabric switches. Tapos ito yung NetApp storage. Ito Cisco storage din. So ito yung mga drives. No? So compute resource, networking resource. Sorry, this is power. Power yan, power supply. Storage resource. Magkakahiwalay. That's why it's very expensive. Eh. No? So, if you migrate yung on-prem niyo, yung physical na yan, sa Azure, total cost mo 174. Mas makakamura ka. No? Para akong salesman. Okay. Nagets na ba? Cost over 5 years, 174. So ito yung breakdown niya. Yeah. Pansinin yung labor. Labor ng may physical, 25,000. Labor ng walang fee. Hindi, pareho. At mas mababa, mas mababa, no? Kasi tinanggal mo na yung technician dahil wala nang masisirang parts eh. Diba? Tinanggal mo ng networking, hindi ka na bibili ng Cisco switches, routers, firewalls. Okay? So wala na dito yung networking, naging virtual network. Yung NSG, VNet, and firewall, naging virtual. Dito, electricity, ang problem sa physical, $40,000 in 5 years. Ang laking kuryente. Actually, hindi lang yan eh. Napakalaking kuryente kakainin nito. No? As I mentioned kanina, 2,000 watts ang power, di ba? So ito isang power, apat ng pala. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 8,000 watts per month. Magkano yun? Ang laki nun. Ang laki nun. Wala pa storage dyan. Wala pa yung router switches, di ba? So napakamahal. No? So saan ka na? Lipat ka na lang sa Azure cloud. Okay, so ito yung selling point. If you become a solution architect, you need to justify. So bakit ako lilipat ng cloud? Diba? Bakit ako lilipat? Magkano ba magiging cost ko? So ito na. So you can easily export to PDF. Cost-benefit analysis. And then send mo yung CBA niyan sa customer niyo. Uy, corrupted. Hindi ako makabukas ng PDF. Nasira yung PDF ko. Teka, take two tayo. Save as PDF. Total cost of ownership. Saan yun? Ito. O, diba? Very professional. Very professional. So just email this one to your customer. No, out of the box, they will know. So over 5 years with Azure, your estimate savings could be as much as $500,000. Okay? This is a comparison between on-prem and cloud. Okay? Blue-green, on-prem, patas na patas habang tumatagal. Pero Azure, bumababa over 5 years. Okay? Ayan. Total cost break. Self-explanatory. Napakadaling intindihin, di ba? Actually, hindi pa nga kasama dito yung DCOM eh. DCOM. So, paano may DDCOM yan? Paano papatayin yan? Magastos pa yan. Okay? Okay, any question about cost management? Wala. Next one is question. Marama. Next one is cost management pala. No? Cost management is simply reporting. Magkano yung bill niyo? No? Data enrichment. How can you set a budget? Let's say IT dev team should only have $100 budget. Paano mo set yan? And how do you alert whenever you reach $100 budget? Say, uy, quota na to, 100 na to, stop na. No? How will you do that? And meron tong recommendation. Okay, bibigyan ka ng recommendation. So, so let's go to the portal. Same portal. Ayan. So, ano to? Cost management. So, punta kayo sa cost management. Just type cost management. Ayun, lumabas. Ito yung kaninang dinemonstrate ko. Okay, so as of now, I'm invoice generated on Feb 28 is cost $95. I can download the invoice. I can view the invoice. Na-download ko. I can click to view the invoice. So ito yung invoice ko. Okay. So ayan, I paid $95 nung Feb 28. I paid $63 nung January 28. No, very complete documentation, di ba? Ganda i-report. Easier management. And then PDF, if you want to email, blah 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 blah. Lumabas yung bahay ko. Ayan. So ito yung bandwidth na cost ko in and out, no? So free na sa akin. Bandwidth naman sa premium plan, Asia Pac, $10. Budget sa premium solid state is $41. Storage yun VNet, may bayad din yan $535. I selected the machine to be a BS B2S which is 2 core, 4 gig RAM. I consume 659 hours, it's $34. Okay? So a total of $95 a month. Dalawang VM na yan. O, di ba mura? Okay? So that's invoice and then subscription. Subscription. So I'm using pay-as-you-go, billing scope. So dito na ini-email. Cost management. How do you manage the cost? Okay, so manage the cost. You can create a cost alert. Cost alert. So let's create a $100 cost alert. So click add. Enter unique name. Let's say a budget. Ayaw mo type. Budget for dev. Kasi may mga DevOps kayo gustong testingin lang how to migrate, no? So budget for dev. Okay. Budget for dev, for testing lang. And then yung development billing period will be buwan-buwan, no? And then I would like to set the budget starting April 1st, no, to April 30th. Tayo magbago to. 2022. April, May. Okay, so starting tomorrow, sorry, 17 to ending 16. No? So 1 month. Okay, budget, give your budget an amount, which is $100. Okay, $100. Next. Okay, so alert will be given, will be sending to email. So anything na nag-alert. So ano yung alert na yun? So you have to set a condition. So select a type condition, actual usage. Let's say you've utilized 80% of the budget. Okay, so remember $100 budget. So pag 80%, $80, di ba? So pag na-reach na yung bill mo ng $80, anong gagawin? Mag-i-email dito. Okay, mag-i-email dito. So magsisend siya ng email. So create the budget, validating. Yun na. So meron ka na dito. Meron ka ng cost alert. So whenever you reach $80, makaka-receive ka ng warning na you have spent $80. Okay na. Hindi mo makakalimutan yan. Okay? So may alerting pa yan. Ano pa ba? Okay. Yun ang magandang function. And so many more. Napadami. No, it can make a recommendation. It can send alert. It can make view resources. No? Okay. And so on. Okay. So yeah, yan ang ating cost management. In minimizing cost, paano paliliting cost mo? So meron ditong drop-down waterfall strategy. No? So perform, meaning you have to analyze your cost. So how do you analyze? You can either use Azure pricing or TCO calculator, which I demonstrated a while ago. Okay. You can also monitor usage using Azure Advisor. So you can go, hindi ko pa na-demo to, Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor, asan na yun? Azure Advisor. Azure Advisor. Yan. So it will give a recommendation. Basically, it's just a dashboard of recommendation. So sabi dito, meron kang one recommendation which is a medium impact. Okay? Cost naman, you are following all cost recommendations. I'm just following. So meaning optimize na yung costing ko. For security, you are following best practices then. Secure na siya without me doing anything. No? Operational excellence, you are following operational excellence guidelines. And performance, you have best performance na. Okay? Pero may isa pang recommendation na I haven't done. So click on the impact. So ano ginagawa nito? Sabi dito, you should enable backup of your VM. Enable mo. Kasi wala nga akong backup. Pag yan nawala, na-delete, patay, goodbye. Okay? So yun yung advisor. And then you can use, just go spending limits, and you can use Azure reservation, mas mura, di ba, by 63%. And you can choose low-cost location. Ano ba yung mga low-cost location? Paano malalaman, di ba? So you can type low-cost location sa search bar, and you can keep up to date and apply tags to identify who owns what. Okay? Next is the SLA. SLA. So ito yung SLA ng Azure sa inyo. No? Kayo yung customer. So Azure SLA and Lifecycle. So dito we're gonna describe ano ba yung SLA, ano yung availability zone and general availability. Okay. Okay, SLA. So how do you define SLA? SLA is a service level agreement which describes Microsoft commitment for uptime. Yung committed uptime nila and committed connectivity between you and Microsoft. Service level agreement are based on individual products. So each product has its own SLA. Hindi yung the whole Microsoft Azure has an SLA. Iba-iba. No, meron 99.9, meron 90%, meron 99.99. So iba-iba. Detailed agreement on the service provided and any exception to the SLA is defined in the terms and condition na you need to sign, that you need to read. Free and preview features, walang SLA kasi nga free sila. So if you make a demonstration ng proof of concept, no, the night before demonstration, let's say kinabukasan, pagdating mo sa demonstration nasira kasi ginamit mo free, wala na. You cannot restore that web server. No? SLA for Azure products and services. So performance targets are expressed as uptime. So how ilang oras uptime and ilang oras in downtime, no? And connectivity guarantees. So performance targets ranging from 99% to 99.999. Yung tinatawag na 5 nines. Okay, so dito SLA, pag sinabing 99%, meron silang 7 hours downtime. So pag nag-down yung host mo or yung server mo, web server mo, they won't be penalized, no? They won't pay you anything. Okay? Kasi legal, as per agreement, na they can have 7-hour downtime. Okay? If you selected the highest SLA, which is 9.5 or 5 nines, 99.999 and 5, up and running server most of the time, except for 26 seconds. So ang allowed na downtime sa Microsoft is 26 seconds lang. Okay? So saan ang gusto mo? 99% or 9999? Well, this is more expensive. This is more expensive. It costs a lot. This is more cheaper. Okay? This is cheaper. Okay? If a service fails to meet the guarantee, a percentage of the monthly service fees can be credited. So isasoli nila sa inyo yung amount of money na nag-failed sila. No, let's say promise nila 7 hours and naging 8 hours. So may 1 hour. So kakalculate nila yon. Kung ang hourly rate mo is $10, re-refund nila yung $10 sa inyo. Okay? Actions that affect service level agreement is lower your SLA, meaning adding more services and choosing free or non-SLA services. Okay? Kung gusto yung ibaba SLA. If you wanna raise your SLA as much as possible, all resources should be existing in all availability zones. Remember yung easy zones natin, di ba? Sa easy zones, meron kang sa isang AZ, may 3 data centers. Sa isang data center, meron kang triplicate copy of the VM. Okay? So if you wanna raise your SLA, you can create a redundant system. Tandaan nyo, if you create a higher SLA, higher uptime. Higher uptime. Kasi nga, if single data center fails over to the next data center, siguro yung switch nyo yun, pag switch nyo yun, few seconds lang yun eh. No, siguro may downtime ka lang ng 0.1 second. No? So hindi mo feel. So they can still promise na yung web server mo is 99.999. Okay? So ginagamit ito sa mga airline, web reservation system, like yung Cebu Pacific, no? And so on. Okay, tapos na tayo. So module review, factors affecting cost. So we discuss ano yung mga factors na nagpapataas, nagpapababa. I demonstrated cost management, total cost of ownership, Azure pricing, and proof of concept kung magkano yung magiging cost from on-prem to cloud, and Azure SLA. Okay, do you have any question? Tapos na tayo, tapos na tayo. So stop ko na tong recording.